Now it's live.
No.
And it should be audio, which is good because we were having all sorts of OBS issues last time.
Hi,
Boppity-boopy.
Matt.
Beepity-boppy.
Hi, Matt.
Peter, what are you doing?
Guess what? I love chocolate
Speaking
milk.
Italian.
It's one of my favorite treats.
Was it actual chocolate milk or was it quick?
It better have been actual chocolate milk,
Or is it Yoo-Hoo?
because that's Yoo-Hoo is gross.
Yoo-Hoo is not milk.
It's not milk. It's chocolate drink.
Yeah.
It's still gross.
Chocolate drink.
And,
That's a drink
and
that
I
you can
can't-
get sick on just because you drink it so fast. It is so smooth.
and then the other, oh, it's so gross.
That's how.
And then I can't do, I guess I could, but I don't really like it. Chocolate syrup, that's gross.
It's not bad.
It's gross.
It's good if you warm up the milk.
Okay,
I don't
that
mind
I
the
could
quick
do.
powder. The quick powder is
Yeah.
good.
Yes, actual chocolate milk. Wait,
Nesquik?
Yeah, that's.
Yes.
wait, what?
Okay,
Matt,
okay.
It
what?
used to be just quick. Nestle's
Did
quick.
you make it?
Oh.
Because you just made hot chocolate and then cooled it? Is that what you did?
Well, I think he said melted chocolate. It's like he melted the chocolate into his milk.
Yeah, and then he had to cool it off. 'Cause he says a nice cool glass of chocolate milk.
Okay, then maybe he did that.
Oh, he did say cool. Cool glass.
Because Colin makes me chocolate milk all the time. It's tasty. Well, not all the
maybe
time.
it's
but
You mean
Maybe
hot
it's-
chocolate?
yes, but that's basically what it is. It's just milk and
Maybe
chocolates.
it was just like at the bar where they have like that frosted mug for your beer. It was frosted mug but hot chocolate. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be good.
You'd break the glass.
I think they call that a frosted hot chocolate or something like that.
No, you would break the glass.
Frozen
Oh my
hot
gosh.
chocolate. I've heard
Frozen
that.
hot chocolate.
Frozen hot
You're just
chocolate.
reminding me when I went to the last time I went to Origins and they had a bourbon tasting.
But the hot
Mm.
chocolate in that isn't really
I-
hot.
I don't like bourbon, but they had this bourbon cream,
Yes.
and you put that in like root beer. It's like candy.
Mhm.
I had to stop. I was like, I chugged like two like real
Yep.
quick, and it's like this will f me up real
It's
fast.
like, well, I'm done. The
Good thing my hotel's right there.
the Navy Notre Dame game I went to a couple years ago. It was at Landover Field. I don't know, right around now-ish, so it was cold,
Yeah.
and they had hot chocolate with a shot of Bailey's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had two. Just because I'm like, I have two hands. Now I'm warm. This is great.
That sounds good.
So apparently our episode's going to be at the board game Chocolate Factory.
That's a relatively new game. I think the Kickstarter for was last year.
Oh, yeah. Sounds familiar.
Yes, indubitably. Yes,
indeed.
No.
quite.
Quite.
You brought this up, Matt, so it's all we have you to blame.
Well, it's okay because it's because then we can just say it's Patreon inspired content.
There
Oh,
we
I love
go.
it so much.
Mhm.
It's fantastic.
For the viewer, by the viewer.
All right.
Patreon.com.
We can start this now so
Is
I
that
can go
just
home
a-
and get some chocolate.
Is that just to get you out of thinking up anything for this month? Is that what that was?
I sourced Matt trying to get game ideas too, so he's like the source for all knowledge.
That's
Well, you're
awesome.
reminding me I need to pull up because there was some talk about this in the. It was funny, but we talked about the chat about games with families.
Oh, yeah. We had a few.
I forgot to put those bits in there. All right, Colin, have you checked your levels?
Was there anything I still needed to adjust?
Well,
I
but
thought I got
mean,
it the last
just
time.
test. You might want to just test it.
Hmm.
Philip, what are you doing?
Where's
He's
the pop out chat?
Oh.
Down there.
I didn't hear anything until just then. I just saw you, like, punching away.
Is
at
there
your
like a?
tablet.
Sometimes there's like a cog that you can do that says like chat only.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Got him!
I'm in the app.
Oh, hit the little two heads.
Are you kidding?
That's
Oh.
channel viewers. That's
That one's a little loud, but. Where's In Your Face Cthulhu?
Hmm.
In Your Face Cthulhu. I love that.
I was trying
Ah,
to see if there's the
Matt
pop-up.
verifies good levels.
All right, I'm gonna stop. Hey, there it goes. It's on now.
Hey,
I heard it
I was
click.
watching and then I had to check stuff and I missed it.
I heard it click,
I
though.
was like, watching the ball drop and
Matt, did you see that awesomeness?
All right.
probably about to see it.
Oh, yeah, true.
All right. So you're ready. He's messing with stuff, but
I'm
whatever. All right. Start the show in 3, 2, 1. This episode is brought to you thanks to all the support from our patrons over at patreon.com/boardsandswords. Coming at you live from Swordplay Studios, it's time for Boards and Swords.
I totally spaced. I'm sorry, guys.
I was just looking like you were
He had
braced
the
for-
weirdest look.
He had the face like something like he was about to sneeze or something was coming out. So I was like,
I apologize.
it's too late to apologize.
Oh. Anyway, hi.
Hi.
Half the people at the table are typing something.
I'm done now.
Hey everybody and welcome to Boards and Swords. This is the podcast where we make fun and have fun and just fun
Yay, fun.
talking about board games.
I'm all for fun.
Fun.
It was kind of a spin-off of All for One back in the 90s.
Oh, gotcha.
Didn't turn out too well.
Gotcha. You know
Okay.
what? Anyways, so how's it going? Hey, Philip's back.
I'm back. Yay!
Hey.
I was gone.
Well, last time.
Oh,
You were
Not-
gone
I
We're
mean,
a
here
bit.
for our episode.
you
We
didn't
have to-
have you
we-
didn't have like a cutout in my
we-
chair or something.
It
We
wasn't
used-
even that.
We didn't even feel like using the soundboard to like impersonate you.
Anyway,
I should get a Philip cutout though.
so who are we, people?
You should get a cutout for everyone, just for the heck of it.
I'm one of your hosts. My name's Chris Renshaw.
What's going on, everybody? I am not a cutout, Philip.
I'm Colin.
And I am Cindy.
Now I want to do an episode where the Mister, I don't need to change these levels at all.
That's not with the levels. That's with sensitivity.
One of these days, I just want to get cutouts of all of us, and then we'll just sit behind them, and so like it's us talking, but you can just see the cutout.
It's like that
Oh,
Blues Traveler
funny.
video.
So the podcast listeners
we'll
won't
get
notice, but
We'll
our
get a
video
second.
ones
yeah.
We'll get a second camera, and it'll be like we're interviewing ourselves.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
What would you say you do here?
I have 4 bosses.
Well, I mean, we have like 8 patrons, so that's,
Yeah, there we
that's
go.
close.
Mhm. Well, I think in the movie it's 7 different bosses.
Oh,
Or it might be 8. I don't know. It's
It was
7 or 8.
it was a
I-
number greater than 1.
Do not. Anyway,
So how about some news?
Uh-oh.
It's not what you want to hear.
I hit the wrong section of the thing, so it jumped the volume up rather than triggering it.
You know, one of these days we'll get it right.
Mm.
So, stop. Go away.
Philip's cheating.
So Asmodee started buying stuff again.
Mm.
They purchased, I'm going to get this wrong, but it's a French game company. It looks like Louis Meme.
Uh-huh.
Like it's M-E with a little caret R-E or M-E. So it looks
Okay.
like Louis Meme.
Oh.
The company's known for several games, including the party game Skull.
Ah,
Oh.
yeah.
And I said, finally, they own a game that you could play with all the leftover FFG cardboard.
That's good. Actually, Matt really likes the game Skull.
I do too.
It's
I
fun.
mean,
I
for
played it
for what
once.
it is, it's, you know, I'm at a bar, flip over some coasters, let's play.
Yeah, no, it's a cool game. I
I
enjoyed it.
don't think I'm aware of Skull.
You have not played Skull.
I have not played Skull.
That I know you. You have not played Skull with me, therefore I assume you have not played.
It's fairly basic
It's a-
bidding, press your luck game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're trying to guess whether somebody has a skull in their coasters, but
Gotcha.
it's played with like looks like coasters.
And
Okay.
I played this with Jimmy and Corey, and Jimmy was he was like, he never wanted to use a skull ever, and he never wanted to have it go over like 4 cards
Yeah,
or 4 things out, and so he would always like, okay, I'm gonna contest it or say there's, you know, it was really funny. Not contest, but I'll call kind of thing.
So Portal Games is going to be releasing Detective Season 1 next year in late 2020.
Mm.
Wait, season 1 as in like a sequel to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Based on the popular or unpopular, depending on who you ask, release from last year. This version will be a shorter version of the game designed for, your regular kind of, they called it mystery night or mystery game groups,
Oh,
your
okay.
regular game night. To be fair, it is pretty easy to make gameplay shorter when you have a usable rulebook.
What?
Portal games.
Well,
right.
that's just cheating.
Having usable rules.
Yes.
That's cheating. Yeah.
if you don't need to 3 months later come out with an FAQ and an errata, then you're just not doing it right.
Oh my gosh.
Bless you.
Continuing with 2020 releases, Dominion's getting another expansion next year.
Oh, really?
Another one.
As
Another
if it
one.
needs more.
The designer, who once claimed he was finished with the game, will have more information on this expansion in December. At this point, this is for you, Phil.
Okay.
At this point, the game is less Dominion and more like the Borg. Resistance is futile. It's always ever expanding and has the personality of a box of oats.
Got him!
I know people really like Dominion. It just
Yeah, because there's that one group at our store that they play it every single Friday.
yeah, but then even in addition to that, I mean, I know that there's people all over that really like Dominion and they still really enjoy it. But I just wasn't. It didn't strike me. But I like some of his other games, like Kingdom Builder. That's a really great game.
That's the only other one you've played.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind then. Well, I really like Kingdom Builder. And I think that's really good.
Matthew in the chat says, Dominion 2020, the quest for more money. And I said, wasn't that the name of the last one? Last but not least, definitely, this is the one I'm Funko released a teaser image. I put imagine. A teaser image. I can't spell. Pointing to a potential Back to the Future release for its
Ooh.
FunkoVerse game in
All right.
2020.
It's exciting.
The image seems to suggest that it will launch on July 1st, 2020. So if this episode goes short, it's because I have a DeLorean in my garage I need to finish working on while you enjoy these puns. I'm not done!
I'm
No.
sorry. I heard the DeLorean in the garage. I was like, great. And I'd been like missing, so I was like, come on. All right, go for it.
Do I need to reread the sentence now?
Puns. Do puns.
All right.
Puns.
Well, I'm guessing these will McFly off the shelf. It's Colin's density to own it. Your capacity to enjoy these puns is likely in flux. It makes me so happy I could dance a gigawatt.
I missed that time.
And I write the news so I can get away with these puns great scot-free.
Work, you.
You don't even need it. I did it for you.
Bum, 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 bum.
Aw.
Them's the news.
Thanks, Philip.
There it goes.
It cut
And
off.
then it cut off.
Because I hit it like
'Cause you
10
tapped
times.
it, yeah.
It was much better when I had a keyboard to
We
hit
need a
things.
bingo
Oh, it's
sheet.
going again.
Oh. Yep, it's triggering like everything.
We need like a bingo sheet that the chat can keep track of.
Mm.
It's like free space as Colin messes up the soundboard.
Well, I think the free space is like Colin messes up the intro music.
Oh, yeah.
I decided not to touch it this time.
And
And,
then
then
there's-
and then when I went to cut it out, it jumped.
Yeah.
So, boom.
we need to get Colin a dedicated device right in front of him. It's got the intro music button and a slider, and then just buttons.
That's great, but then you
Like
gotta
a
have
real
chords.
studio.
Yes.
Yeah.
What? Just one.
And you
extra
can make
chord.
that happen by going to Patreon.
Slash boards and swords.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this week, as we talked about last time, although most of you have probably not heard that episode yet, because by the time that we're recording this, it just went hot and we had to take it down and put it back up.
But if they're
Mm.
listening to this not in the video feed.
Now,
they
there's
will have
still a
heard.
good chance they hear this one because of the way all the caching works. There's still a good possibility that like it just gets skipped.
Aw. Anyway.
So apologies on that. But this
Mm.
time we're trying to focus on these discussion kind of topics. And so we are talking about, this one's going to be timely. Usually we talk about stuff that's timely for the live show, but then like the episode comes out like a week afterwards.
Yeah.
But this time, this episode's dropping right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
U.S. Thanksgiving.
Like
yes.
2 weeks before. I think.
And we're recording it before the Halloween.
Yeah,
Funny
day
how that
before.
works. Yay, holidays. So we're talking about like games that you can play with your family. And I have to caveat this, and that a lot of the games that I'm just throwing my quick mentions out right now. A lot of the games that I normally play with my family are in that next level list that we did. So Codenames, Impact, Railroad Inc., those kind of things. Definitely recommend them, but I didn't want to have just another list full of like, as I started putting those in, I'm like, this is just the same list.
Yeah.
So this time, the way I did my list, and you guys can talk about how y'all did yours. My list is games that one or two of them I have played with my families, but some of them I want to try with my families this year. I understand the way the game plays, and I think it's at the right level that I think it'll work. Except for one. There's one that's kind of like a wild card. They've seen the list. They know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I remember hearing, really?
Yep.
So
Oh, yeah, I
how
said
about really?
So when I was making my list, it was basically just games that I've either already played with family or that are easy to teach to people that don't necessarily play games or that don't always grasp the concepts of some of the they'll consider it difficult games, but to me, it's not difficult.
Right.
But anyway, so these are much games that I think anybody can enjoy, whether you're a gamer or not. So that's how I focused my list. And I mean, I don't think I have one crossover with my next level list, but whatever. That was a while ago.
And Philip did make a list, so I just put Munchkin in all the blocks.
I saw that.
I don't know if you play games with your family.
I don't disagree with that list.
I asked him. I said, "But where's Happy Salmon?"
That's a really big active game.
Yeah, it's like you got unless
You
you're
need
playing
some space.
unless you're playing with like kids, you're not
So-
gonna get like your grandparents to play Happy Salmon.
Oh, I would. When my grandmother would totally play Happy Salmon.
Oh, I'm sure my grandparents would play too. I'm just getting to the point where it's getting too much for me.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, there's my workout. Apple Watch says I'm good.
Oh my gosh.
Done, guys.
All right. Anyway, Colin, how did
Uh-huh.
you curate yours?
Yeah. Games that I have or envision easily being able to teach, and just anyone walks up at a family gathering, sit them down.
Mm-hmm.
Come out here, you whippersnapper.
Yep. And I'm switching out one on the fly because I remembered an experience. So I'll leave it.
Oh, really? What happened?
I had a good experience.
I just hate that that genuinely came up on the show last time and Philip wasn't here for it.
Oh, yeah.
Like you had to sub in for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I talked about having a bad experience.
Oh, really? What happened?
Anyways,
So,
Colin, you want to start?
sure. I'm jumping
do we
around,
do
but
we roll a dice to?
no. So top one is Spiel winner, Azul. It's easy enough to teach to anyone, but there's a lot of depth. We taught it to
My
your,
mom.
Your mom loved it,
She did, yeah.
and I've taught it to coworkers, a bunch of people. It's just you just go through a round of it, and
Yeah.
you know everything there is.
Yeah, it takes like especially newer people to the games. They're kind of like what at first, but yeah, after because I taught my mom this, and she's definitely it's in the I'd like to try. I don't know if she liked it or hated it. It's in the I want to try that again some point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun game, and like most people, like I'd say at the worst, people don't mind it, and at the best, like people love the game.
Yeah. It is a very
I
good
think
game.
even the people that quote unquote hate it are just indifferent. Like I don't see the hype, that kind of thing.
Well, that's how you were after you played
That was
it.
how I was the first time I played. It was like because the hype just messed me up.
Right. But then, of course, I begged you to get it.
Mhm.
Are you gonna get the second and third one?
I want to try the stained glass Essentra, and I probably want to try the Summer Pavilion too.
Yeah, I want to try them, but I'm not like itching to get them.
It's just my idea of a summer pavilion. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I just think of fairs whenever I hear pavilion. I don't know.
I don't at all.
There was probably something called the pavilion. Anyways.
So the first game I'm going to mention, we talked about this a few weeks ago on our show, but it's Woolly Mammoth, which is one of Smirk and Dagger's newer games. And it's I don't know. I think it's a really good, fun family game. You're just trying to survive and collect the most mammoth meat, or just be the last one standing. And it's got, like, for families that can get really competitive, I think that this could be a really good option because it gives you that, not necessarily backstabbiness, because this one there's no backstabbing, but you could still screw up your opponents by playing a card that you don't. They don't want you to play.
If you get in their head, know what they're thinking you're wanting to play.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Do the other thing.
It's so good. And our friend Jason, he even said, "Oh, this is totally a game I would play with my kids." Like, so it's definitely one of those good family games, I think. So Woolly Mammoth.
So my number 5 is a game I've been wanting to get, like, Ashley's parents to play this game forever, but I've never gotten to because it's just more of they're not really in the mood to play games, and I don't want to just, like, pull it out and, like, hey, let's play. I keep trying to wait for an opening, and it just never comes. Like, I'll bring it a lot of times, but that game is Downforce.
Ah, yeah.
Because, like her parents and like my parents, I was born and raised in the South where NASCAR is a thing.
Yeah.
So, and just it plays up to, 6 players, and it's a fun game, but it's fairly easy because it's just play a card. Like
play a card, move all the cards.
The auctioning's the only kind of gotcha at the beginning, and then figuring out the scoring piece. But yeah, the basic once you get into the gameplay is play a card, move all the cars.
That's like Woolly Mammoth.
Yeah.
No, Downforce is good. I enjoyed playing that.
I can't wait for the new maps. Did those come out at Essen? I haven't seen anything on them.
I haven't seen anything either, so.
Yeah, they announced them, but they haven't put a date on them yet.
I feel like I saw them in halls from something.
They were out at Gen Con, like on display, but not for purchase.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
That's right.
All right, and Philip's number 5 is Munchkin.
Do you have a particular version of Munchkin you'd like to showcase?
Yeah, it's just 5 different types of Munchkin. Munchkin Happy Salmon.
He's
the
thinking about
the
it.
light bulb just went off in his head.
That could be fun.
That's like the first version of Love Letter I played was technically the Munchkin Loot Letter.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
All right, we'll snake here, and I'll do the next one.
All right.
So number 4 for me is one I actually have played, and someone's going to discount the rest of my list probably just because of this, but Exploding Kittens.
Yep, totally invalidated.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's stupid easy, and this is a game like Chloe has gotten to the point she won't play a lot of games with me, but if I bring out Exploding Kittens just because it's A, it's cats, B, it's cute, and C, it's stupid easy.
Yeah.
That they'll play.
I haven't played it really.
It was recently featured on Supergirl. They have like a game night, and twice they show Exploding Kittens.
I like it when shows are doing that. I mean, even if it's not a game that I play, like getting the culture out there.
Yeah, that's cool.
That games are fun.
Yeah, because they went from that to playing Catchphrase.
Ah.
So it's like 10 years ago would have been just like Pictionary, and now it's Exploding Kittens.
Yeah, that's cool. Neat. So the next game I have is Imagine, and this is one of those.
I'm imagining what game am I?
Ha ha ha. So that's the name of the game is Imagine. It's one of those fun party games where you have a word you're trying to get people to guess, but so it's kind of like Pictionary, only you have a bunch of cards with random weird shapes on them that you can use, and they're like transparency type things, and you're overlaying them to make whatever it is that you're trying to get your people to guess.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this interesting concept of that style game because you're limited a little bit with, you know, the way you can build your thing. And it's just so much fun. Oh my gosh. You can make some really interesting things. Like Colin made a Pope Mobile one time.
Oh yeah.
And
The Pope Mobile, yeah.
yeah, and I just like it looked like a guy was pooping.
That's the poop mobile.
Yeah,
you
and
missed a
so-
letter there.
right. Yeah. And so it's so fun. And this game can play pretty much as many people as you want because it's a team game. And
Well, no, actually, it's not.
it's not a team
You can
game.
play teams, which is why you can do as many as you want. But yeah, it's free for all, standard.
Oh.
You know, as a
Well
car,
then. Okay. Anyway. You can do it however you want. It's just one of those fun games that's more of an activity sometimes than an actual game. And I think that's kind of really neat for a family get together.
oh, so like the
because-
mine.
Whatever. Because sometimes, you know, you don't want something that you have to sit down and pay complete attention to. It's just something fun to throw out on the table. And if, you know, whoever's around, they'll be like, hey, I know what that is. That's this. And yeah. So yeah. That's Imagine.
I get that. So, my next one I'm going to throw out there is High Society. This is
I'm not coming to your family gatherings ever.
Why?
You
I
don't.
don't-
Because I can see the rest of your list.
Well, one of those is going to swap out.
Oh.
So, High Society is a auctioning game, and you are bidding with cards. Your cards have different denominations of money on them. You're trying to have the most stuff at the end of the game. Highest amount of stuff will win, but you need to also not have the least amount of money left at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, because that person automatically is out of the running.
Goes, oh, too bad. You spent too much money. You're ostracized from our
Mhm.
community.
And so that's the whole game. You flip over a card, you auction it, and then whoever has the most stuff with not having the least money is the winner.
That reminds me of Biblios. But like,
Well, there's an auction in Biblios too. I almost put that on the list. But I was thinking
I haven't played that in
High
years.
Society, I think it's a little bit smoother because
Mm-hmm.
Biblios is in two halves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, High Society, you play over a few rounds, don't you?
Yeah, you go through the deck until you hit a certain amount of cards.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, so
You've
High
got
Society.
John and Emily Detmer in the chat, and I'm assuming that's them, and they're backing you up that they played High Society a few weeks ago and like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a fun game.
we played it at Dice Tower Con,
a
and
couple times.
yeah, and then we found a copy in the flea market. It's like, oh yeah, we should get that because it was a good
It was
time.
Is
really
that a
fun.
newer game?
It's
It
an
just had a
older
reprint.
game, but
Okay,
it
that's what
had
I
a
thought.
reprint from
Okay.
Osprey, so it
Yeah,
looks
I thought
nice
it was
now.
an older game, but I was hearing it a lot more nowadays. So
Mhm.
that makes more sense.
Yeah, I think the reprint was 2017.
I don't want to say because I
You
don't
don't
know.
know? Okay. I don't know.
So,
Am I-
Snaking.
Well, then you'd be.
That would be you next.
me
then.
again?
Nick,
Yes.
So I'm actually swapping out this next one. So my this isn't really even in any order, but my next game is going to be Port Royal,
Yeah. Ah.
and it is what?
High Society originally came out in 1995.
Yeah, I thought it was the 90s. So Port Royal, push your luck game, and we played this with my niece
Oh
on
yeah.
our vacation we had back in December.
10 years old.
Yeah, and she picked up on it great.
Yeah.
And so that's what threw this into the running for family game.
I'm sorry. What was it? I was looking up High Society. What was the game?
Port Royal.
Port
Ah,
Royal.
okay.
Artwork you would hate.
Mm-hmm.
It's Clemens Franz.
So yeah, it's
Whatever.
but yeah, she picked up on it really great, and my brother was saying, I really like this game because she's able to play it.
Mhm.
And she either won or came really close
I
to
think
winning.
she won.
Yeah.
At least we played twice, and I think she won one of the two games we
Mm.
played.
Well, once was by ourselves. We played co-op by ourselves.
Oh, and then she joined the next.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
She watched us, and so she picked up on it.
Got it.
But yeah, so it was a good time, and so all levels of family could possibly enjoy this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah, there are games in my collection that stay only for the purpose of I don't plan to have small children in the house, but if somehow accidentally one finds their way here, then I have something to entertain it with until its parents come to reclaim it.
You've got help in the chat now for when games come out.
Yeah, thanks.
Did we ask about
the
Port Royal?
Osprey
No.
Osprey revised edition was 2018
Okay, so
Okay.
it was last year.
for High Society.
Oh wait, this is 2019.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. I was thinking it
It's
was,
actually almost 2020.
I
is
know,
almost
but for
2020.
some reason I was thinking it was only 2018, and I knew the game didn't come out this year, so
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's got to be 2017. Well, oh my gosh, I'm a dork.
It's actually closer to 2020 than it is 2018.
Yes, no, I understand that.
Let's
about
go
to-
over this a couple more times though.
We're actually getting closer to 2020 the more I drag this out.
Stop it.
Would you say that your eyesight right now is 2020?
No, I'm blind.
No, but that is one of the commercials for like a local eye doctor who specializes in like laser eye surgery.
Mm.
It was like see, and now it's gone, but it's like
Come get 2020
yeah,
and
come get
2020.
2020 before 2020.
Mm.
Anyway, my next game is, surprise, surprise, Ticket to Ride.
Hey.
I mean,
Would you say she's got a
yay.
ticket to ride?
What? I'm sorry. Just give me a face.
Y'all are rude to me today.
I like it.
Today?
I like the choice.
Thank you.
I don't care what you think, Colin.
Ticket to Ride is fun. It's easy to teach, and a lot of people like it. A lot.
My mom likes it too. I'm agreeing with you.
That a lot of people like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I really like it, and so I like to play Ticket to Ride with my family.
I just usually end up playing the app more than I do pull out the game.
Yeah, we
No.
did the app for a while and it faded. Like the app was just less fun for us.
Yeah.
It's just like when you manage, like when I moved the, I don't know, for that, like I usually like moving pieces around a board, but for that I just prefer the app.
And that's I think why I like it better in the physical, because for that game I like putting the pieces out on the board.
I know, but I'm saying it's a weird difference for me because usually I'm all for components, but
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, for me, my number 3, I mentioned it when we did the review, and that's this holiday season. I'm taking FunkoVerse
Right.
Oh yeah.
with me home. I tried to get I got my parents to play like a couple of rounds of this, but it was later at night and it was not the right time, and they were just like stuff's going over their head. But like when I go to Thanksgiving and my cousins are there, I'm pulling this sucker out
Fun.
because I'm gonna have like Rick and Morty and Batman
Right.
going at it. I need to get there's the Catwoman and Robin pack I need to pick up now that the game's out.
Cool. Do it.
But
Do
yeah,
it.
it's really simple. We've talked about it before. They're laughing because we got the official fact checker now for
For when games come out. What
for
year.
Boards and Swords, the Good Enough Party. So it's really simple. You just roll dice and did I hit or did I miss? And then you just move people around, and it's cute and fun, and people are attracted to it because it's got Funko Pops in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a fun looking game.
So, oh, that's right, Snake again. Unless
Snakey.
Philip, what's the next version of Munchkin you want to talk about?
Munchkin Barbarian.
I knew that was going to be the first one he actually
Munchkin
mentioned.
Conan.
Munchkin Conan. That's right. Because the Barbarian Birthright. It's
Do you
great.
have that game?
I do. You gave it to me.
Okay, I was wondering. Like in my head, I was like, I should give this game to Philip. I couldn't
You already
remember.
had.
I couldn't remember if I actually did. So, my number 2 is another one that I haven't tried, but I've talked about a whole bunch, and like my family's all been like, yeah, we should do that, but we've just never sat down and actually done it.
Mhm.
And that is escape room games.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Things like Unlock, Exit. Personally, I prefer Unlock games because then I can pass them to somebody else when I'm done.
Mm.
Yeah.
Whereas the Exit, it's like, here, you throw this away. Or it's like I paid 10 to $15 for it to be trash immediately. At least with the Unlock is I can pay that and then give it to somebody else and they can play it and they can pass it. My
But
only
it's still cheaper than going to an escape room.
I understand that, but I also considering like I already have enough on my social conscience with all the ecological garbage that I do with shrink wrap and all the consumerism I do. At least I feel a little bit better if I'm purchasing a version I can re-give to somebody else instead of just trashing it immediately.
Gotcha.
That's a better reason to like one over the other.
What is the main difference between exit and unlock?
So-
Exit, you're destroying components as you play.
Okay.
Yeah, so like
Unlock
usually
is
like
all
you may
cards
have to
and
tear a
apps.
page out of the rule book, or you may have to cut up pieces.
Mhm.
Whereas unlock is just a deck of cards,
Just okay.
and it's like
You type things into the app.
You solve puzzles
Yeah,
to
'cause
get
we played
specific.
down in
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes, you've played unlock. That's
I
right.
played unlock. Okay, and the exit was the destroying
Yes.
components.
Yeah.
That was
And we
that
just
was
like
how
the,
we that was how we felt playing Pandemic Legacy.
oh yeah,
It
the
was
first
like,
time.
and now
yeah.
you just destroy it. You're like, no, that's not what you do. We paid money for this. We're just gonna
That's
break it.
like game 1 and 2. By game 5, we're like, give it to me.
I hate this.
Or you do like what I did in Betrayal Legacy, and you rip up the wrong card.
That was
Oh, yeah, yeah.
terrible. So now you know when we're getting the creamsicle.
Yeah, it's a sickle that we named the cream
The
sickle.
creamsicle. Okay.
Thank you. That was me.
So that was my number 2. So Cindy,
My next one is
speaking of the Legacy version. Oh no, sorry.
That's not me.
I know. I looked at the one next to me, and that
Which
was
is
Colin
Colin.
on the list. Not
Anyway,
sorry.
my
Continue.
the next one on my list is another fun party game, and that is Wits and Wagers. And so this one, I think, can you play up to 8 people with some of the versions?
Yeah, it depends on.
It's 7, and then you go into teams, I think.
It depends on what version you get,
Yeah,
because there's a lot
different
of
versions.
there's different versions depending on where you get it. Like I know Target sold one that went to a certain value, and then there's another version that went to a different value.
Yeah. So there's a few different versions of Wits and Wagers out there. I've played, I think, 3 of the different versions at this point.
We played regular
Party
and party.
Oh, so I have not played Family. Okay. But yeah, so I really, really enjoy Wits and Wagers. And it's a betting game and it's trivia, but you do not have to know anything. It's
Right.
all numbers, and a question gets asked like, in inches, how tall is the Eiffel Tower? Or, something dumb like that. And everybody writes down their answer, and then they all get flipped over at the same time, and you rearrange them from highest to lowest or whatever, and then everybody will bid on which one they think is closest without going over.
Mhm.
And so it's so fantastic because, like I said, you could know absolutely nothing and just be like, oh, that looks good, bet on it, and you could win the game. And I think
Yep.
it's so much fun.
That's a lot of people that I hear refer or recommend Wits and Wagers. That's usually their selling point. It's a trivia game where you don't have to know trivia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and knowing stuff does help you, of course, but it's so much fun. I think we're almost through our entire pack of questions in our version because we played it so much with your parents when we first got the game.
Yeah, but by the time we got through the whole set
We
of cards, we
forgot
probably
the answers
forget
to
the
the other
numbers, so
ones.
you can do it
Yeah.
again.
That's the trick with Wits and Wagers is it's not just who can get the right answer, who can get the most believable answer.
Correct. That
Because
too.
you want everybody to pick your answer.
Yep.
So we got a suggestion in the chat room. There's a debate or talking about Nuts So Fast.
Awesome
Yeah.
family party game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they were talking about that they need to include Band-Aids in their game. Their
All
version
right,
also
Kurt,
this
get on
version
this.
now has Band-Aids.
Yeah, I actually had that on my list at first, and I ultimately swapped it out because of wounds.
Oh, the game. I thought
I
you had
love
Band-Aids on
Nuts
your
So
list.
Fast.
My
That's
brother
a
got-
weird game to play.
My brother once got a broken finger from playing slapjack.
Oh, ow.
Like they both went in at the same time and just.
Yeah, it's slapjack, not so fast, and spoons. Like, those are the 3.
All right, what's your next one, babe?
Oh yeah, so my next one. So I have Pandemic.
That's
on
where
my
I
list.
said. Speaking of the legacy version.
Yeah, and really, I could put any cooperative game shy of Spirit Island and Robinson Crusoe. Like Escape, Curse of the Temple,
Forbidden Island. Forbidden Desert. Well, maybe not. That one's a little.
I probably wouldn't do Forbidden Island personally, just because it's a little basic.
Well, it depends on what your family is, because I
Yeah.
found for kids, Forbidden Island's great.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
for sure.
Well,
I
I
can see
just
that.
I've got problems with Forbidden Island. Like it ramps up a little too quickly because the Waters Rise cards could be back to back to back to back because it's just shuffled. Whereas in Pandemic, it's dispersed.
Right.
So that's where I like Pandemic over Forbidden Island. If you could do that with Forbidden Island, like disperse those,
There's no reason you couldn't.
I guess.
I just broke his mind.
It's a smaller deck of
I
cards.
saw it happen too.
It's a smaller deck of cards, so you'd have trouble with that, though.
I'm just gonna make a gif of him just being like,
I just had to process it for a second. It's like it doesn't compute really.
Does not compute.
Yeah, that was literally why I put escape room games on here. Was I
Mhm.
was thinking like, yeah, any cooperative kind of game.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just good because if someone doesn't know something, you can help them, and they won't feel like, oh, you know what I have now.
Right,
Like-
right. There's no secrecy.
Except for the real time games, it's like, quick, what do I do? What do I do? Here's what I got. Give me.
Like Escape.
That just reminds me of when I was demoing Marvel Champions, which is a co-op game,
Mm-hmm.
and people would be like, Can I show you my cards? Because I got something that could help. And I'm like, there's really nothing against it. The only reason they say that you hold your cards up is to prevent alpha gaming. So someone's not
Mhm.
saying
You're
like
talking about
you-
in Pandemic?
no,
No.
in Marvel Champions.
Oh, I'm
You
sorry.
go,
I
like,
wasn't listening.
You got your you got like a hand, and people were like, "Can I just do I have to hold my cards up because it's co-op?" I'm like, "You do whatever you want. It's just they say to hold it up like that to keep people from just like, like you play that card and you play this card, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna do my ability."
Oh, yeah. You can get that.
That's the same thing with Pandemic. They say for your first game you can play open hand, but you hold your cards in your hand normally. We've never done
I've
that
never done that.
because we don't have a problem with alpha gaming though.
Well, sometimes I can be a little, but
think
I'm
we-
much better than I used to
I
be.
think we played open hand when we did Legacy.
Legacy, it's in the rules that you play open hand. Yeah, at least in season 1.
That's the last. I have not played Pandemic since we played, and that was what, back in 2016, 2015.
I think it was 16.
It was a little bit ago.
Our day of gaming. This is. We need to get this done.
I
8
said-
games.
Where I was like, we're not playing. Like, I don't feel like playing Pandemic for a while. 3 years
Forever.
later, I still don't feel like playing Pandemic for a while.
It's been a while since we've played a regular game of Pandemic.
It's been a while.
Every time. So
Your last one, babe?
my last one is one that we played with my dad, and he wanted to play it again when we were done. It's Illusion. It's quick card game. You're just trying to see, okay, we are looking at the color blue. Does this card have more or less blue than the last one? And it's like timeline in a sense. And you're trying to figure out, okay, what's the proper order? And at some point, when it comes to your turn, you can pull another card and try to fit it in the line, or say something is amiss. And then you flip them all over, and it has all the percentages on the back. And if percentages are all ascending, then the person that plays the last cards get the point. If something is wrong, then you get the point. And first, the 3 points wins.
It's such a
Okay.
fun game.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. Simple, fun, quick. We play it at dinner.
Yeah.
Dinner being waiting for food at restaurants.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Your dad seemed to like it. He asked to play it again.
That's what I said just a minute ago.
Oh my gosh. I was even listening to you. I don't know why I didn't
All right,
hear
I'm
that.
just gonna turn off your microphone.
Yep.
Right? Cindy's
Just sit
not
there
even
and look
here.
pretty.
Aw, thanks. Anyway, the last game I'm going to mention is Cat Lady. And I personally I think my mother would really like this game. I've not played it with her yet,
Mhm.
but I think that it would be one she would enjoy. It's just a grid of 9 cards, and you pick 3 from either a row or a column, and you play them in front of you, and it's set collection. You're trying to collect sets of cats. Then you're trying to collect enough food to feed all your cats. You're trying to collect... I guess the set collection comes in with the costumes and the toys.
Yeah, the toys.
The toys is
specifically.
set collection. Yeah, because you get more points the more toys you have. And then you have to have costumes, and you have to have the catnip. Or you don't have to have catnip, but you can get catnip and just all these different little cards that you collect. And they all give you points. And it's just this really cute, fun, simple little game to play.
Mhm.
And I think that especially if you are cat people, I think that you would really enjoy this game. Even if you're not a cat person, I think you would really enjoy this game.
Chris, have you played that?
I have not played Cat Lady.
Yeah. My favorite rule in it is that you actually lose points at the end of the game if you don't have at least one cat costume.
Because you're a crazy cat lady. I think it's so cute.
I still need to break out the cat cafe.
Oh, yeah. Need to upgrade the dice on that
I already
first.
did.
Oh, nice. Okay. Check.
Yeah, I just pulled some of the random D6s I had and
Mhm.
threw those in there.
The post I've
Nice.
been seeing lately is talking about, hey, I upgraded the dice. Now I can
With
play.
literally any dice.
Yeah.
I just picked a bunch of the dice that I have that are custom, like from different podcasts, and threw those in there.
That's awesome. So yeah, cat lady.
So my number one, I have to put a big caveat on.
You're ridiculous.
Asterisk, asterisk.
Asterisk, asterisk.
Such a ridiculous answer.
And that is because I don't think I would recommend this to anybody else's family, but I want to play this with my family.
And what is that?
And we'll get to there.
Oh
So,
my word.
Have to build.
you know, anyone who's heard me play or played games with me knows that I tend to play in a specific way. You know, it's like, hey, Philip, how's it going? Hey, what's this? Here, hold this knife.
Hold it with your back.
Yeah.
Here, hold this, please.
The question I have for you, how do you think I got that way? Do you think I just woke up one day and like, I'm going to be a jerk in a game?
Well,
I
of course
honestly
not.
do.
It was
No.
It was bred into you.
It was years of being bred into me. Rinshaw game nights are brutal.
Oh my gosh.
Whether it's video games or board games, it's like if you're in the way, I will run over you if it means that I can get to the finish line first.
Oh my god.
If you're in front of me and I can trample you somehow to get to the finish line, I will do it.
Mm.
So
I play that way.
the game that I have on my list is Rising Sun. And, you know, for those that the one or two of you don't know what it is, it's a Japanese style game. It's about alliance. It's a minis on a board where you're making alliances and potentially betraying those alliances. But the actual basic gameplay is fairly simple.
Mm-hmm.
Like you pick the mandates and they tell you pretty much what to do. Move this here, move that there, pick a guy, put this guy down.
Yeah, I get that.
But so the actual game, I've actually played Blood Rage with some of my cousins before. That was a bit much for like my dad saw that and was like, I'm out.
Well, the tricky thing about Rising Sun, I think, comes down to the cards and monsters.
True.
And Blood Rage, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Is
Oh, yeah.
most of it anyway. So yeah, that's like the one tricky part I have issue with, like teaching to the random person, is those cards.
Yeah. But it's like, if I could make my family, you know, some of my cousins and uncles and dad and stuff, if I could get them to sit around a table for 12 hours, I would put Twilight Imperium and play that with them. But I know that's never going to happen. So I can get some of that experience in with Rising Sun, with the alliances and the negotiating. And I'm
That's
sure
fun.
there are other better games, but just when I was looking around at games I had that fill this void, this was just what my eyes went to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I probably
get
would
why
do
you-
that. Yeah.
I get why you put it on your list for your family, but definitely wouldn't suggest for
That's
the
why
average.
I started
family.
with the caveat.
I know.
Yeah. It's a good game.
It is a good game.
I would definitely
enjoyed
play it 4 times over playing Twilight Imperium once, but
And maybe faster too.
yeah,
Depend-
I like the alliances in the Rising Sun, the way it worked a little better than the one play that I had of Twilight Imperium. It was less secretive. It was more like out there in your
but
face.
That's the fun part.
I don't know. I just like the in your face, like, hey, let's go get Philip now. I don't know.
This is why.
That's my style, I think.
Philip, we have to play Rising Sun, the 4 of us. That'd be really fun.
No, Philip, you need to play Twilight Imperium with me at some point.
Okay, we need like a 3-day weekend.
I know, that's
We
the
do.
problem.
You need a 3-day weekend for Twilight Imperium,
Yeah,
really.
that's what
That's
it
what
is.
he's
and then,
talking
and then
about.
we'll have another day for Rising Sun.
That's what I was talking about. 3-day weekend just for Twilight Imperium.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
We'll just do our own Gen Cant next year, just
Yeah.
right here in the basement.
Yeah, we didn't have a Dirtbags Invitational this
We
year.
didn't. The year's not over.
The year is not over.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll just do a day. Just like, hey, this is a day.
Today is a
day.
day.
A day.
Anyway.
Christmas at my house. Let's go.
All right.
So, Philip,
What?
do you have any other things that you'd play with family?
No.
Like
Or-
Suro.
He didn't have Sura, but I imagine he would. You can borrow it anytime if you want.
We're just gonna make like the we're just gonna make a video game, or not a video game, a board game red box right there on that wall.
I'll just give you swipe access
Yeah.
to the
Shwink. There we go.
Nice.
The
Okay.
joke. I just get a couple smart locks, and then there you go.
All right.
Tell you
I'll
what,
just
yeah.
leave a tip jar somewhere.
Exactly. You know, that's
Or just a little board. It's like mark when you leave with something. Mark when you bring
Yeah.
it back.
yeah, to make it like
Like a
the
library
like the
system.
libraries in elementary
The
school.
old
You pull the
cards.
card out and yeah,
Mhm.
there you go.
Those were fun.
That's too much work, though. I just have one sheet where you just put like Philip took this game.
Got a
Don't you have
jar.
like don't you have a spare like Kindle Fire or something? Just pull up a
Again,
spreadsheet,
that's
hang it to
work.
the wall.
Again, that's work.
Oh my god.
They just need
Sometimes
to be plugged
analog's
in all the time
easier.
to charge.
Yeah. Matthew brings up
Yes.
Patchwork.
I agree,
Mm.
Matt. I taught that to my mom, and we've played it a couple times now. She really likes it.
I think I've either talked about it or I've played it with my mom.
Mm.
I just didn't put anything like 2-player games because I was trying to think
Yeah.
more open.
Same here. That's the only reason I didn't put Patchwork is because I was trying to get like the larger family as a
Yeah.
like the not necessarily extended, but just when we get together, there's 6 of us. Even if it's just my family, because my sister, myself, and parents, and we have husbands.
Although I would say like 70% of the time when I'm playing games with my family, it is with one other person.
Yeah.
Because it's my mom's cooking and I'm playing with my dad, or my dad's asleep and I'm playing with my mom.
Yeah. For me, most of the time, now because my sister has a toddler,
Mhm.
it's hard to play games when she and her husband, my niece are around, just because
Mhm.
we're always chasing the toddler. But
That's its own game in itself.
yeah, it is, and it's fun. It's so much fun. But the thing with so when we do play with family, it's often just my parents or just his parents or something. So it's usually just a foursome that we're playing with.
Mhm.
So, and this will feed right into the Patreon bit, is we asked this question also on our Patreon Slack.
Yes.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
my favorite response was from Beetle, and he said, because we were asking what games do you play with your family, and he said, check the grandparents to see if they're still breathing. The game is called Does Anyone Know Where the Wills Are?
I thought that was hilarious.
But he mentions Fireball Island, which is one that I've thought about getting purely just to play with my family.
Oh yeah, we were at a game store that had it on the shelves this weekend.
That's the only problem is with the price of it. I don't want to buy it on the chance that they might like it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to know that they
Yeah.
like it.
I need a store that like I can demo the game at.
Oh yeah.
But there's none a lot really around.
right.
So yeah, speaking of Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/boardsandSwords and support this show for just $1 a month. That's like
Just $1?
just
Just
$1.
$1.
That's
Wow.
50 cents
We-
per one of these episodes.
We welcome more, obviously, but $1
People are-
is
people are
more
cra-
than welcome.
People are crazy if they could give me more than $1. I just know I know the
Aw.
value of my worth.
Aww. But hey, if we get to a certain pledge level, right, we get fun special content.
True. We've already put out one bonus episode. I think I'm going to put together for November an outtakes episode
Mm.
Cool.
that we'll put out. And then we still got, let's see, we still got
Yarn Finder.
Yarn Finder, us playing an RPG.
I really want to do it, guys.
And then we've also got special, what was it? Oh, you doing skit songs, which you already
Yes.
started writing
I've
one.
started writing a parody song, and I may not wait for Kickstarter or Patreon because it's
Go
Well,
for
you shouldn't
it.
wait for Kickstarter either. I mean,
You know, this can be delayed for months.
yeah.
And then I really want to get to, I think it's like $100 is when Colin starts doing the
the
riff
sound
the
clips
soundtrack,
things,
turning
yeah.
them into like fun techno beats or
Oh,
something.
I'm waiting for that.
Are you? Is that they're like,
No. That's
He'll have fun with it.
Ew.
If we get
Suddenly-
there, it'll be fun.
Suddenly I feel like you need to go get the mop.
Ew. You guys are disgusting.
I need to cut that.
All right, and with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Colin. Speaking of which,
All right, so I am doing something sort of kind of ratings game thing, but it's going to be a little different. This is still stealing from Flip the Table, so I apologize, guys. We are going to take turns guessing the geek rating for games. So this is the rating that is good in relation to its position rating-wise.
yep.
So, okay. So, like, we're saying a number between 1 and 10.
Yes, but I'm going to narrow it down some. So we are going to have one person guessing, and the other two contestants in that round are going to guess whether they think the number is actually higher or lower. And reality makes sense in this game. Higher is higher, lower is lower. Unlike the rank is one where it's like, which way is up?
you're like, I don't know which one's
I
good.
explain it every time, but
I know.
explain
I'm
it
saying
poorly.
like it's
No, it's okay.
like it makes sense logically though, like with saying the
Yeah.
right words. So I have chosen an array of party games, and you are going to be going through this and guessing ratings and whether they're higher or lower. The person guessing the rating, if they get it dead on, they're going to get 3 points.
Okay.
And for everyone that guesses the wrong direction, higher or lower, they will get a point.
So is this like one person's guessing the number, and then the other two are saying if it's higher or lower? Like
Yeah,
I know I'm restating. I'm just making. This was a. I'm just making sure I understood it.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Like a Band-Aid, just do it quick. No, you were doing like slow and painful. Like just take it off, man. Just take it off.
Woo! Take it off.
Wow.
So
He gave you a coaster, Philip.
Okay, I'm working.
he said it right next to it. So
What's a coaster?
we are going through the game.
That's what I do most of the episodes. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Make a coasting joke.
So I don't know how much this is going to make it in. I'm going to just start over explaining the rules. So in this game, each round, someone's going to be guessing the rating. I'll start with Cindy. I'll say a name of a game. She's going to say what she thinks the geek rating is, down to the hundredths place. So 1.11, just for example.
1.11. We could say the point. What?
This is the geek rating.
It goes to 2 digits every 2
It goes to
digits?
3 digits, actually.
Does it go to 3?
Yeah,
goes to
I
3
rounded. I
decimals?
rounded to 2.
Oh wow.
This is horrible.
Can
You
you,
get it dead on.
Cindy?
I'm never going to get it
Chill.
dead on.
Chill. Let me explain the rest of the rules, okay?
I know how it works, you
No.
freak.
I'm gonna tell you stuff. Okay? Okay?
No.
So, Cindy makes a guess. Both of you individually say higher or lower. If it is higher and you say higher, you get a point. If you're wrong, Cindy gets a point for whoever's wrong. And if she gets it dead on, 3 points. The 7th one is going to be, everyone's going to be writing down their answer, and then whoever's closest in general is going to be getting however many points I decide is going to be. Probably 3 points.
The number of points is the correct answer.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
All right. So for this, I chose a bunch of party games that have either been mentioned in this episode or are well known. And the first one is going to be Wits and Wagers.
Hey, this
Now-
game sounds very much like Witch and Wagers anyways. So.
Now, all of these games are between 5.0 and 7.5. So it narrows down the spectrum.
Okay.
This is where I was saying, let me finish.
There's 250 potential options there.
It's still narrowed down. All right. So, Cindy, what is your guess for the rating, the geek rating of Wits and Wagers?
So just the regular Wits and Wagers.
Yeah, regular
Can we get
Wits
the
and Wagers.
rank? Does that
No,
no?
you're just guessing.
No hints.
7.12.
All right, 7.12 is what Cindy says.
And the upper band is 7.5.
Yes.
I'm gonna say lower.
All
I'm
right.
gonna say lower as well.
Okay, it is lower. It is 6.79. So
Yay!
each Phil and Chris are gonna get a point.
Woo! 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 Starting out a game with a point.
All right.
High five. And Cindy didn't. Yeah.
All right, so moving into the next one, we have Imagine. We talked about this one earlier also, Cindy did. And so we know about what the game is. It's making shapes into funny guess what I have made things. So, Chris, where would you put this?
6.45.
All right, 6.45. Philip, do you
I'm
think
gonna
higher
say
or lower?
lower.
Lower, all right. And Cindy,
Lower.
also going lower. The actual score is 6.38.
Ooh.
So it was-
I was so
It
close.
was 0.7.
That's almost
off.
within arguing
Or
margin of error
0.07.
point.
0.07,
Is.
yeah. So, all right.
That you're bordering on me getting mad for being close.
Well, I said it has to be dead on.
I know.
All right.
Margin of
one.
errors.
Next
Oh
one.
my gosh. Do not. Do not.
I said you were close to me arguing that.
All right.
All right. Next up, we have Just One. Hot game from. The,
1.11.
It was nominated for the Spiel. I can't remember if it won or not.
I
don't think it did.
It won.
It did not win.
What was the other competitors? I'm forgetting
No,
now. I'm
maybe-
totally spacing.
I know Wingspan won the Kenner.
Oh, this is
I think
terrible.
just
No,
one.
wait,
did,
it did win.
It did win.
It did win. Okay.
So the
think it
the
did.
2019.
We're not looking it up, but we're assuming.
I'm looking.
Hey, if John's still watching, he can fact check us on that,
Yeah.
There we go.
or anybody in the chat room can fact check us. Anyways, Philip.
All right. So
Just
are you
won.
are you familiar with the rules of Just One? How
I'm
it
not
plays?
familiar with the rules of Just
The
One.
game's really simple. All it is someone's given a word. Everybody has to write down a word related to that, except for one person who's got their eyes closed. Then everybody holds up their words before the person reveals. If any of the words are matching, they get removed, and then the person opens their eyes and has to guess the word based on whatever clues are left.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You could play that. You literally could get a deck of card or a. You could use the code names cards and some whiteboards and play this game.
Yeah,
Okay.
true. It's fun.
So yeah, Just One. It won the spiel.
Mm-hmm.
What's the rating? The geek rating.
7.
Dead 7 even.
Dead 7.
Ooh, that's hard. That's
Mm.
hard. That's hard.
All
I'm
right.
gonna say higher.
All right. Cindy says higher.
I'm gonna
What's
go
Chris's?
higher also.
You guys gotta you guys make it no fun when you go the same direction all the time. So it is higher.
Then he needs to get better at picking numbers. Then apparently.
All right. So yeah,
Well,
it's
I
7
mean, I wasn't gonna-
7.03 actually.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh.
So yeah,
Nice.
Philip has more reason to argue about the margin of error thing.
Well, no, I was. You said it one spiel, so I was just gonna give them points to be like 7.5. How about that?
How about them apples to apples?
So next up we have.
Nothing.
No, I got it.
Well, the soundboard's not up. He can't hit the. thing.
Yeah.
He's gonna-
Yeah. Next up we have Codenames Pictures.
Oh.
Codenames Pictures.
I am going to say 6.23.
6.23, she says.
Now, just to clarify, this is the version of Codenames with pictures.
Yes.
Okay.
This is not the version that won the spiel.
Now, what number? You said 6.23.
2.3.
Again, that's real close.
Mm,
I'm gonna go lower.
okay.
I'm gonna say higher.
Yes.
Hey, we got a split, and it is higher. So it's 7.13.
Oh my gosh, that's much higher than
Sheesh.
I expected.
Yeah. So Cindy gets 1. Philip gets 1.
Oh right, because Chris got it wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong,
I-
wrong.
I knew it was probably higher, but I was just like, this could be a gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have a classic Beyond Balderdash. Or Balderdash is the classic. Beyond is like the more variety version. So I picked Beyond Balderdash. And Chris, you are going to be guessing. What would you say the rating is for that?
6.66.
Oof. Why that number?
Oh my
Well, because you took away the thousands place. He was gonna go 6.667.
Ah.
But would it round up to 6.67?
All right. So, Philip, higher or lower?
I'm gonna say lower.
All right.
Oh, I was gonna go lower too.
So you are
Yeah,
still?
I'm staying lower.
Okay, it is lower. It is 6.36.
Wow.
I got 2 of the numbers right.
That's right, you did.
That counts for something. You get a half point, but actually it's 0.49 and it rounds down to 0.
There we go.
All right, Chris, next up we have
No,
Philip.
it's Philip.
Philip. Next up we have I'll get the game right. It's my game. Magic Maze.
Ooh.
Magic Maze.
We had talked about it. I don't think you've played it.
I have not.
I haven't
But
played it either.
You're familiar with it though. Real-time cooperative. Everyone can't talk, but you're moving pawns across a board, discovering tiles. Need to flip the sand timer to make sure you don't have run out of time.
Imagine the chaos
And
of
each-
5-minute Marvel.
And each person can only move in one direction.
Yeah. And then certain levels of the game, you are changing which direction you can move when you flip the sand timer. So you get your mind going in different directions.
It's crazy. It's
So-
so much fun.
Yeah. Magic Maze. Where would you put the geek rating for that?
6.29.
6.29.
I'm
Cindy,
going to say higher.
Cindy
This
says
also
higher.
won the spiel, didn't it? Or
It was a
It
nominee.
was a nominee. And you said 6.29.
29.
I want to be contrarian and go lower, but my gut's telling me higher.
Mm,
Let's gamify the system here.
okay.
You got 4 points. How many points you got?
He has
I have 4
4.
points.
You got both 4 points. So I got to go higher then because I need to try and stay in the game.
All right. It is 6.96, so it
Yeah.
is higher.
Oh.
Nice.
So Cindy gets 1, Chris gets 1. So he's still trailing because both him and Cindy got
Right.
1.
But now I'm what? Oh, yeah, because Philip's higher than me, too, now.
All right. So last one. Going to have everyone write down their answer, and then whoever is closest is going to be the winner.
Why do I have 2 points?
So you can
One's
hand
One
one
is
to me.
for
Philip.
Philip.
Oh, okay.
It was take one, pass
No,
it
no,
down.
no. I'm going to write it twice. And then.
And then Philip can choose to accept or reject your
Yes.
There we
answer.
go. All right, it's an added.
All right. So one we all love, Not So Fast, is the last one.
And this is between 5
This is
and
still between 5 and 7.5.
And or is it just whoever's closest period?
Yep.
Or
I'm going to have to do some math potentially.
okay.
I just realized what my number is. I didn't even plan that.
Mm, mm.
If I could have a pen that writes or
Oh, you
pencil
want
that
mine?
writes.
This one's good.
Oh.
I mean, you can keep your thing, actually. You're going to be
Oh.
telling me. It's
Oh.
just so you can't change your answer.
Oh.
That's what you think.
Pencils down.
What you don't know is I've written 12 answers on this piece of paper.
Hold on, I'm
Well,
gonna need.
I'd like it if you show me the answer and
I'm
when
gonna
you
need
say
about
it.
5 more minutes because I'm writing down every possible number.
All right.
It's like Sheldon with the
So are we
gifts and he
starting
just
with
brings them all
Chris?
out.
Now we're going to start with Philip. I'm going to work backward here.
All right. So, my answer
Is
6.84.
6.84.
I'm gonna do that. That's cool with the fun. My answer
Yes.
is 6.27.
6.27.
And my answer is 6.78.
Ah.
So if it's close to 6.78, it just might bounce Philip out of this.
If it's below 6.5, I win, or I win this round.
Yeah.
What is
The correct answer to this is going to win 3 points, and it is 5.64.
Yes.
No!
I know, it's a terrible
That's
crime.
so sad. It's such a good game.
I was
It is.
going just off buzz. There was also some issues with one of the designers, and that made it have a big PR hit.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, like I actually don't know if Smirk and Dagger's reprinting it.
Oh.
There,
I hadn't heard about it.
there,
didn't know
there was.
anything.
I don't know the full story, but it was one of those like it wasn't like the main person, but it was like one of them.
Huh.
All right.
I think it's an amazing game. So that means Chris wins by 1 point.
Yeah, congrats, Chris.
Yay!
Chris is the wiener.
Oh, man.
I'm ready.
Oh, well, that's all we got this week. Sorry, I gotta scroll down so Philip can read.
What?
Start it over. Start it over.
No, we don't have to start over.
Start it
No,
over.
I'm
No, we were
starting
good.
over. I'm trying to sound professional in the recording.
All right, that wraps up the show this week.
Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoy this content, you're going to love checking out our live play podcast called The Dirtbags of Holding. That's where we sit around a table in Chris's basement and we play the worst RPGs in the best way possible.
You might say it's this exact same table.
It might... Don't we change the tablecloth, though?
No, I just put that on.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, my God.
It's this table, apparently.
Wow.
Anyway, well, if you like this show, you can email us comments and questions at feedback@boardsandswords.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Boards and Swords Pod or on Facebook at Boards and Swords Pod at facebook.com. I totally did that backwards.
Slash.
Anyway, just search for us on Facebook. And then you should also follow our individual accounts. I'm Cindy Pastorius on Twitter and Instagram.
I am Callcakes196 on Twitter and Instagram.
Hi, I'm Chris the Prof on Twitter and Instagram.
And on Twitter, I'm Phil the Dirtbag.
So we are also a part of the Dice Tower Network. You can go to dicetowernetwork.com and find all sorts of awesome gaming podcasts similarly themed to this one. And the network is sponsored a lot by Cool Stuff Inc. You can go to coolstuffinc.com and find all sorts of awesome gaming deals, just like the awesome podcast you find at DicetowerNetwork.com, but at coolstuffinc.com.
Lastly, thank you so much for listening and watching this episode. Remember, you can go support us and head over to patreon.com/boardsandswords if you want to help us out in any way possible. We appreciate it no matter what. Even just listening, though, is a treat, especially if you talk to us and let us know.
Yeah.
So, but in the meantime, remember that every gamer has a story, and I award you no points, and everyone in this room is stupider for having listening to that. I don't remember the exact quote.
Yeah, everyone is
May
now
God have
dumber.
mercy.
That's the only
on
part I
your
remember.
soul.
And may God have mercy on your soul.
Simple no would have been fine.
I'm thankful for you, Philip.
Yes. Oh, somebody is.
Do you need a hug?
What's that? I do need a hug.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
It's over.
Yeah.
Bye, people.
And cut. I hate you.